The U.S. Constitution was written during the Philadelphia Convention and was signed on September 17, 1787.
I'm Thomas Jefferson.
And I'm James Madison.
We, the people of the United States, in order to form a more perfect union, establish justice, ensure domestic tranquility, provide for the common defense, and promote the general welfare, and secure the blessings of liberty to ourselves and our posterity, do ordain and establish this Constitution for the United States of America. The preamble was signed in the Philadelphia Convention of September 17th, 1787, and also was ratified June 21st of 1788. This basically explains the reasons why farmers want to turn our government into a Republican government, and it also replaced the Articles of Confederation because at this time people weren't unified and they weren't happy with the way things were going, so they made some changes, and it just basically gives all people rights, and it made sure everyone had justice under the Constitution. Articles of Confederation was the original Constitution of the United States, which was ratified in 1781, which was later then replaced by the U.S. Constitution in 1789, which is also known as the Preamble. Basically, under these articles, the states remained sovereign and independent, and it also gave Congress the authority to make treaties and alliances.
The sections of the Constitution are very similar to the table of contents in a book. There are 6 sections in all very important, holding their own meaning. They include the preamble, the first article, the second article, the third article, the fourth article, and the fifth article, also known as the 27 Amendments. The constitutional amendments, also called Article 5, is consisted of a proposal and a ratification. It is a change to the document that specifies laws that have been passed through the United States history. There are 27 amendments in the U.S. Constitution, and the amendments include
1. Freedom of religion, press, speech, and assembly, which basically means you can say and write whatever you want to, and you get to believe in whatever you want to.
Number 2, freedom to bear arms. Basically, you had the right to own a gun and shoot if you needed to.
3. Quartering of soldiers, which means that no one could place any soldiers in your home if you did not want them there.
Number 4, no unreasonable searches. So if an authority figure tried to come into your home, you could not let them come in without your consent.
5, right to remain silent, which means no authority figure could make you say anything without your consent or if you were not willing to speak.
Number 6, right to a speedy trial. That means that you can go through a court case trial very speedy and quickly and easily.
Right to a civil case, which means that it would remain civil, they would not treat you differently than they would treat anyone else, and it would remain no arguing, things such.
Number 8, right to a fair fine and bail. Basically, if you got in trouble, did something against the law, it would basically, give it fair.
9, individual rights. This was basically rights you were born with that aren't written in the Constitution, but everyone has these individual rights.
Number 10, states' rights. Basically, wherever the location of your state is, you had different rights compared to what you needed to do.
11, authority of federal courts restricted. Basically, the federal courts were given a restriction of the amount of power they had. Yeah, and there was a restriction.
Number 12, election of president and vice president. So, democracy, anyone can choose what they want to choose.
And 13, slavery was outlawed, also known as emancipation. This was basically, it should have been outlawed much sooner than what it was, but it was saying that slavery was not allowed anymore, so that was good.
Number 14, right of citizenship. Anyone outside of our country would have the right to become a citizen.
15, voting rights for all races, which means all races were able to vote now at this period, and they were all treated with somewhat same amount of respect. Not really, but...
Number 16, federal income tax was established, meaning that people who work for the federal government also had to tax on their stuff.
17, people elect their own U.S. senators, which was a change because they weren't able to before, obviously, and now they were able to.
Number 18, alcohol was prohibited, meaning that alcohol was it was illegal. You couldn't drink it.
Yeah, and 19, women get the right to vote, and this was different because before this, women didn't get much respect, and they were just kind of treated like they were dumb, so now they were able to vote and stuff.
Number 20, replacing the president. Basically, every term a president has on January 20th, you have the option to replace the president.
And 21 was the ratification of prohibition against alcohol. So turn up, they were allowed to drink again, but then people were like, hey, if you're going to drink again, we're going to tax all the alcohol, and that kind of sucked.
Number 22 is 2 terms for president. So basically, you have the choice for your president to have 2 terms.
And 23 was DC electors, which gave DC electors, they gave them a right to vote, which kind of like made them a state. Yeah.
Number 24, voting rights protected from taxes. Basically, everyone had voting rights.
25, replacing the president or vice president. So basically, if something ever was to happen where the president or vice president
died.
No longer served us, there would be people who would fall behind and served. It's 340.
Number 26, voting age at 18. Anyone at the age of 18 has the right to vote.
27, changes in salaries of the representatives. So representatives, their salaries changed and other things changed also for them. Thank you.